Welcome to the Beer Den Podcast. Tonight we'll be drinking Dogfish Head Indian Brown Dark IPA from Doghead Brewing Company.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Beer Den Podcast. My name is Ethan Hoopy.
And I'm Michael LaRoe. Tonight we're drinking Dogfish Head Indian Brown Dark IPA. A little bit about Dogfish Head. They're in Milton, Delaware. They were founded in 1995 by Sam and Mariah. I'm not even going to pronounce their last name because it's going to be wrong. But it is family owned, and they have a slogan of off-centered ales for off-centered people, and I kind of think we fit that. So,
well, this is definitely off-center. So
let's dive into it.
Yeah, it's a very dark beer, although not like most lagers or stouts that I think we've had, especially as far as smell and taste.
Yeah, it's very opaque. It's dark brown. It's actually a really nice brown color. Like, it's for how dark it is, you think it'd be getting closer to like black, but it's not. It's actually really...
You can see some color in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It keeps that brown tones. Aroma-wise, though, it actually has like a really pruny, fruity kind of smell to it.
It definitely has something there.
I noticed when we poured it, though, like, it didn't have too much of a head, and the lacing's not... Like, it doesn't stick to the sides of the glass very well.
Yeah, there's definitely something to be desired as far as the lacing is concerned. And like you say, like the head, I had to really pour it aggressively just to get something of a head on it. And yeah, it's not overly carbonated or anything.
This reminds me a lot of the High Wire that we reviewed early on.
Yeah, the Bed of Nails.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it has sort of that kind of like dark fruit kind of flavor to it. Same thing with the smell. It kind of follows in that same vein.
What'd you think of the flavor? Because I kind of got like a hint, like you get like a really strong upfront flavor.
Yes.
And then it kind of tails off suddenly, but then you get a lasting, like a completely different, I kind of get like a roasted coffee.
There's
kind of
almost
flavor.
like two flavors to it. The upfront, very sharp flavor that you get like right when you drink it. There's a huge burst of flavor that kind of goes away relatively quickly, and yeah, you're left with a very long finish with sort of a roasted coffee, kind of a bit more of a traditional dark beer flavor. As far as my opinions about it, I'm not a huge fan of the upfront flavor. And I think that really hurts it for me. There's a lot of other dark beers that I would prefer. I do find it very interesting, though, that this is a brown ale kind of IPA mix.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, I think that's what that upfront is. That's more of your IPA, the hops, but then it mellows out real suddenly and becomes a smooth, malty brown ale that's... I'm a fan.
See, and I guess I'm of the opinion that I kind of wish that it was just the finish. I wish it almost cut out the first big burst of flavor and just leave, the stuff that I enjoy about it.
It has a very silky mouthfeel, like we kind of hit on. It's bitter up front, but it's not overly bitter. It's not very dry. It kind of coats the mouth pretty well.
Yeah.
So we base everything on 3 criteria, which is the overall quality, which is out of 50 points and encompasses everything that we just went over, the value out of 25 points, and then the overall design of the bottle or can that it comes in. So quality-wise, I scored it at a 38. I thought the flavor was really nice. Having that be it's a combination of an IPA and a brown ale, it's really interesting just to have that all in one beer, it's kind of that best of both worlds kind of drink. And so I kind of scored it a little bit higher just because of that. I thought it did a really good job at being both, and it didn't end up lacking on either or.
Okay. Well, and like, I think for me, I ended up actually giving it a 28, which is a 10-point difference is actually pretty drastic in terms of our grading scale. And I wasn't feeling this one. I don't know if it was necessarily, I don't know if it's just like the day, sometimes day by day, we kind of change our mind about certain types of beers. We, realize a flavor that we really latched onto that maybe we either liked or didn't like isn't necessarily as present the next time you drink it. So I don't know. This may be one that tomorrow I feel like is a lot better, but right now, I can't give it much. I guess I can only say that I just don't really like it.
Fair enough. So value wise, this was $11.99 for a 6-pack. I thought that was actually a pretty good price for overall, like what you're getting out of it.
Yeah.
Again, flavor wise, it does a really good job of being both a brown ale and an IPA. And so I felt like I should reflect that in the value score. So I actually gave it a 17.
Okay. And like, as far as the price for me, it's not terrible. I think that it's a reasonable price for the beer. You're still really close to that kind of median. But because of my quality score, I really had to drop that down. So I ended up giving it a 12.
Overall on design, what did you end up scoring it?
As far as design, I gave it a 16. I thought that the overall look of it was pretty good. I also think it's kind of plain. There's not a lot going on. You kind of have the hops. You have some grains on there and stuff. I'm assuming kind of representing both the kind of more malty brown ale ingredients combined with the hops.
Now, see, I kind of took it as that's an underwater picture there. And so you have their logo, and then off that they're incorporating the hops, the barley, and then maybe even some of the malts in there. And to me, it kind of looked like a rough, like, seaweed kind of picture.
Okay.
Then you have that blue background, which makes it look like an ocean. At the bottom, it looks like they have sand. So I actually thought that did a pretty good representation of what their brand is. I also like overall the bottle's actually a little bit different than your traditional bottle. It has a little bit more of a swoop neck to it. Much like some other beers that I've seen recently, it has their logo actually stamped into the glass, which I really like.
Yeah, which is actually really nice.
It didn't have the top label to it, but the bottom label, the paper seems a little bit, it's not like as, I don't know, it doesn't seem as cheaply made. Like it has a little bit more of a feel to it.
Yeah, there's actually some texture to it.
Yeah,
that is
and
nice.
then it has a description of what you're getting, so you know that it's a brown ale, but it's also been hopped like an IPA. Gives you a little bit of like what's in it with the organic brown sugar. Let's see, it has the website for the brewery on it, and it does have the alcohol content, 7.2%. So I thought it did pretty well on the overall design of it. Seeing this on a shelf, I would probably pick this up, especially if I was looking like closely at like the bottle design. So I ended up giving it a 20. I would have liked to have seen maybe a more creative name for it, and that neck label. But overall, I thought it was pretty good.
Well, and I guess we're really only a 4-point difference. So I mean, we aren't drastically different, but
okay.
Yeah, I know. I think that's fair.
So overall, I gave this a 75 out of 100. Ethan, you gave this a 56 out of 100. So total, we're looking at a 65.5 point out of 100. Not bad for the Dogfish Head Indian Brown Dark IPA.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to another Beer Den review.
Don't forget to follow us on social media, links down in the description.
Subscribe, like, and share. And if there are any beers you would like us to try out, leave them in the comments below.
We'll see you on the next episode of the Beer Den Podcast.